I'm not wishing nor praying for their downfall. I'm just interested to see how it goes. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is I, Shad Piper, back with another video for y'all today. We have been on a grind. I'm looking at the Bruce Brown video right now. We are 1.3K views in 6 hours. And I only have y'all to thank. The people that get there early in the video and are liking the video and are commenting on the video, you're helping these pieces of content get out to more people. So the people that have been doing that, thank you very much. And the people that have watched, if you've forgotten to like, if you've forgotten to comment, whatever, it's okay, as long as you're watching the video. And if you hit the sub button, that's even more thumbs up. So thank you for sticking along the journey so far. We're only just beginning. Now, if you're not aware of the blunder that just happened a couple of hours ago, here is what you missed out on. So the Timberwolves got Rudy Gobert. That's it, just Rudy Gobert. For Pat Bev, Jarred Vanderbilt, Walker Kessler, who was this year's 22nd overall pick, Malik Beasley, 4 first-round draft picks, and 1 draft swap in 2026. This is not to take away from everything that Rudy Gobert is, which is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, which is a staunch interior defender and one of the best interior defenders that this league has ever seen. His contract's already in overpay, and now you're sacrificing the next 7 years of draft capital for a pairing of Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. I was a little bit more animated earlier today because it was the shock of the trade. It was just like, oh my God, wow, big names traded for each other. As it's been sitting in my head and as I was getting ready to do this video, the stupidity of the trade really started to seep in. This has nothing to do with the Jazz side. The Jazz absolutely fucking fleeced the Timberwolves in this trade. They had announced that Donovan Mitchell will not be getting traded. Instead, they will be retooling around him. So they get a ton of very valuable assets in return that they can then flip for more assets that'll get playing time on this roster or just settle into the pieces that you already have. Pat Bev, Jarred Vanderbilt, they're going to get minutes. Those are rotation players already. And if you're pairing Donovan Mitchell with 2 really good defenders already, you're on the right path. So the Jazz are looking pretty solid. So I wrote out a mock depth chart for the Utah Jazz. I'm not a Jazz fan, so I could be wrong in how they split their minutes. It's looking solid, right? Based on all the players that they have on contract and the players that they got in this trade, you're looking at a 2-point guard depth chart of Pat Bev, Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell at the shooting guard, and a really deep shooting guard core with Jordan Clarkson and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Jarred Vanderbilt and Rudy Gay as your power forward core. I like Jarred Vanderbilt as a player. Tenacious rebounder, really good multi-position defender. He is a phenomenal pickup. If you're the Utah Jazz and you're looking to retool for playoff contention immediately while staying cheap, you get Jarred Vanderbilt, who's on a small contract, and you use him. He's developed already over there in Minnesota. He's got playoff experience now. Let him come over to the Jazz. Let him be with I won't say better organization. Let him be with another organization and let him grow just a little bit more. And then the center position is something that they'll have to figure out. They have 2 young guys here. Like I mentioned, the draft pick for this year being Walker Kessler and then Azubuike as the backup. So there are a couple of moves that they still have to make. There are reports coming out that they will be very active, so we should all stay tuned for the Utah Jazz. For this trade, the Jazz walked away highway robbers. Absolutely love it for them. Hate it for the Timberwolves, and now we're gonna go talk about why this trade absolutely blows for Minnesota. Before we start with the roster analysis, I want to give a quick shout out to Tim Connolly. You have shown your ass. Certainly, you have definitely shown your ass. This is one hell of a first move, I will say. In Denver fans, we dodged a bullet. It's so funny the contrast in how each of these 2 teams with new management took on their first move. Got Bruce Brown, drafted Christian Braun, traded for KCP. Really solid 3 moves. And this is Calvin Booth's first go around here with the Denver Nuggets. Immediately, high impact trades. I can't say this trade by Tim Connolly isn't bold, but I will say that it is stupid. The main thing, besides the severe overpay of 4 first-round picks that are unprotected, you have essentially created the Utah Jazz 2.0. And what I mean by that is, if you were following the storyline throughout the years with the Utah Jazz, what were the problems? Rudy Gobert, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, was quite literally backpacking this entire defense to a top 5, to a top 3, to a top in the league type of status, because there are no good perimeter defenders on the Utah Jazz. Royce O'Neal was probably the best one he's been playing with for the past 2 seasons. The problem is that the Timberwolves also gave up all of their perimeter defense. Jarred Vanderbilt contributed. Pat Bev definitely contributed. You have now switched from one problem to another, because you are now left with a young Jaden McDaniels and a young Anthony Edwards as your 2 top perimeter defenders, with Rudy Gobert now. You've essentially created the problem that the Jazz had and took it on upon yourself to say, all right, we'll just go find the perimeter defense elsewhere. The 3-and-D guard market is very slim because they're all getting contracts. The Timberwolves are not going to have a lot of room to work with if they don't find something fast in terms of having 2-way wings or 2-way guards at this point. Props to them for being able to keep D'Lo. He's probably going to be used in another trade package that hopefully will bring back a return of a perimeter defender. I think that is priority number 1 at this point, because if you're going to get Rudy Gobert, you don't want a repeat of what the Jazz were doing. You want to actually surround him with good perimeter defenders so that his defense shines even more than what a 3-time D-poised defense already shines like. And he's getting better on the perimeter. Not saying that he's a shutdown or anything, but he is getting better. I am very interested to see how the Twin Tower rotation is going to work. In a pick and roll situation, let's say D'Lo has the ball up top and Rudy Gobert is the one that's being the pick and roll man. So now you have Karl-Anthony Towns as a spot up man, essentially. And obviously they're gonna rotate through offensive sets, but keeping Cat off the ball, letting him spot up because he's a 40% three-point shooter as a big man. He is a gifted offensive tool. I would like him to be on the ball just a little bit more if he could handle his decision-making, but I think he's a tremendous offensive talent, and I think trying to stick him away from the action, because now at this point, he is a stretch 4. Rudy Gobert comes in and is the 5 now. The offense is going to be really weird. All hope I don't think is lost, but I think this was a very questionable trade in terms of fit. I think this was a trade that came down to just getting the best player you could possibly get in this market and trying your luck at the Western Conference. I guess there just won't be a lot of pick and rolls if Cat's the one out there. I guess there's going to be a lot of focus on pick and pop when Cat's the one that is being the P&R man. Rudy Gobert will probably be standing in the dunker spot, as he probably should, because his offensive game outside of 5 feet is non-existent. So that's going to be very interesting to watch. Defensively, I already talked about it. There's no perimeter defense anymore. There's a good level in 2 players on the roster right now, but besides that, you're going to get absolutely cooked, especially if Cat has to move down to a 4. Yeah, not a good look. All in all, do not like this trade one bit. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it a C-, just because you're getting Rudy Gobert back, which is obviously a plus. But from when it's looking like he might not have the best fit, but Rudy Gobert is still a 3-time D-boy. Rudy Gobert is still a very high impact player. So do not disrespect him in that regard. Disrespect the organization for trying to pair 2 7-footers in the league that is slowly moving to small ball. Not even slowly. There is a bullet train heading to small ball territory right now, and the NBA is on it. Don't get left behind trying to just put 2 big names together. And that's all I'll say. I hope I'm wrong, right? I'm an enjoyer of basketball. I want to see good basketball. I don't want to see them go out there and struggle to put up 100 points a night. I'm not wishing nor praying for their downfall. I'm just interested to see how it goes. But again, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to y'all in the next video, whenever that will be. Again, floodgates open. I'll see y'all later. Bye.